Hello and welcome to a new video. Today we're going to take a look at the top teams for the Open Ultra League, and this is going to be actually a little bit different than before because you're actually going to have 11 teams this time around. Even though it says 10, there's a main reason for this, and this is because the 11th team going to be around Zygarde Complete Form, and I don't think a lot of people have this. I actually haven't seen a single Zygarde level 50 or like the 50% form of it yet. It is insanely difficult to get those Zygarde cube cells, whatever it is. Especially in my area, this feature is not even rolled out yet. I can't put any in, like nobody in my city can put any roots in. So I'm completely at 0 Zygarde cells so far. Let me know in the comment section how many cells you have of this Pokemon, but I'm at 0 and there is most likely nothing that's going to change it anytime soon. But it's also very difficult to get them. But yeah, Zygarde Complete Form is rank 1 for this meta. So let's take a look here as well for like buffed and new Pokemon. Of course, here Zygarde going to be the best new buffed Pokemon. Warren going to be very decent as well now with the Icicle Spear buff this time around. The Golisopod going to be very strong. There are a lot of Pokemon that you already know. Hexor is also very decent with Counter and the Breaking Swipe, but otherwise we're going to take a look now at the teams. We have a lot of teams from other players that hit a Legend or rank 1 in the world, and I think this is both actually here. But here we're going to have the team with a Legend. I think it's actually also rank 1 in the world team, but we're going to see here a team that definitely hit Legend already very early on this season with the buffed variant of Clefable. This is going to be here with the Fairyland variant in the Ultra League. Very strong Pokemon. I played this team on my channel as well. If you want to see more gameplay for this team, definitely check that video out. Otherwise, we're going to see here already the Snorlax in the lead, going to be very decent for this meta. You're going to try to realign your Pokemon with this team. You really want to try to get the Snorlax to win the lead and then try to align your Swampert in the back, as well as you're going to try to align your Clefable in the back. And this is going to be a very valuable like strategy in general. It's something that you're going to see quite often at like top level, where they're going to have a very good core in the back line and then something in the lead that's just neutral and tries to win back the, win the lead so you can align later on, just hard counter the opponent. Very solid strategy, very solid team. Team number 2 we're going to have here another rank 1 in the world team. We're going to have here a team with the Dragonite. Oh, by the way, for all those teams that have a name onto it, the left Pokemons are always the ones that they use. But yeah, this team is very, very strong. Dragonite in the lead, going to be very decent right now in the meta. Shadow Dragonite is really, really decent. You don't really want to have the normal variant, you really want to have the extra Shadow bonus. Let's take a look at the next team. We're going to have here a team that I also used to hit Veteran this season very early on. We're going to have a team here with either the Nidoqueen, the Jirachi, or the Toxicroak in the lead. It's going to differ as well a little bit with the backline there as well. I used, for example, the Expert, the Jirachi, the Saysop of the Obstagoon, which really wants to have the move Gangshot in this team here. As well as we're going to have here the Scrafty in the back, but you of course can also use the Nidoqueen. But if you want to use the Toxicroak, you kind of don't want to have the Scrafty in the back. Instead, you kind of want to have the Umbreon, as Umbreon is going to give you a little bit better coverage against like flying type Pokemon, which you otherwise would struggle against, as you're going to have 2 fighting type Pokemon. So yeah, this is going to be definitely an interesting one here, as this is a very strong meta line, definitely something that you can run. I actually really enjoy those kind of teams here, especially Gangshot on Obstagoon is always so much fun if they hit against like a Tapu Fini or something. Let's take a look at the next team. Going to be another Legend team here. We're going to be also around the Shadow Dragonite here. This is going to be this time around though around the Ampharos and the Tentacruel, which are very, very spicy picks. Tentacruel is a very good closer in this meta, especially with Blizzard against like those Dragon-type Pokemon, for example, the Dragonite itself, but also against something like a Giratina. It's going to be doing a ton of damage and going to surprise some opponents that don't really expect a Blizzard on this Pokemon. So very cool tech move there. Otherwise, you're going to have the Saysop here of the Ampharos, very decent Pokemon as well. Going to give you coverage against most Pokemon in the meta, thanks to Brutal Swing now. Made this Pokemon so much better, allowing it to hit those Cressalias, those Giratinas. For super effective damage is very, very nice. As well, it's going to have Focus Blast for coverage here against those Steel-type Pokemon. Well, let's take a look at the next team here. We're going to have a team around the Warren here. This is a team from last season, a rank 1 in the world team from last season from Pedoman. Very, very strong team. We're going to have the Saysop here of Dragon Breath Giratina. Make sure that you have Dragon Breath for this one. And we're going to see that maybe it's a little bit outdated though. So maybe it's going to be better if you run the Alolan Sandslash in the lead. And I think this is going to make this team so much better. Alolan Sandslash is going to give you better coverage against Registeel, against Cresselia, against Aurorus, against Warren, against Jellicent. So basically, if you run the Alolan Sandslash especially if you have this one in the lead, it's going to be so much better compared to the other lead here of WarRain, just because WarRain is a little bit more clunky, but definitely a solid team. Also in the back, you have the option of going for Golisopod, giving you coverage against Fighting type Pokemon, as well as going to give you coverage against those Swampert, basically best Swampert answer in the game. So, next one, we're going to have here now a team around Poliwrath. We're going to have 3 different counter users in the lead here. You have to say that the first 2 counter users are only really viable with the Snorlax as well as with the Alolan Mug, while the Deoxys is viable with all the Pokemon. You can use Deoxys with the Snorlax, with the Alolan Mug, with the Guzzlord, with the Manabuzz. For the, for this Pokemon, it doesn't really matter, but for the Machamp as well as for the Poliwrath, which is going to only get counter on the 30th, the Community Day, it does kind of matter what you have in the bag, because if you have the Manabuzz as well as the other Pokemon there, the Guzzlord in the bag, you're going to be just very, very weak to any kind of Fairy-type Pokemon, so that's why you kind of want to have the Deoxys in the lead, which is going to be at least kind of neutral against it, otherwise you just don't really have a chance against it. So, very decent team though. For the Deoxys, you have a little bit more freedom though. Let's take a look at team number 7. We're going to have a team here by Aerosol, which I also showcased on my channel, by the way. All teams where there is a name on it, I usually showcase them on my channel, that's why I know about them. But I also put them into my top team video just before Ultra League started for the first time this season. Golisopod and WarRain, like also Golisopod and the Alolan Sandslash is a very nice core. It's a very, very strong core. And here we're going to have also steel types in the back that you can run, but I would at least recommend you to go for the WarRain. And maybe also, like, I actually don't really think that I like Registeel too much here. Main reason why I don't like Registeel too much here is the Charizard. Charizard will be a little bit more difficult with a spawn. With the Galarian Stunfisk, you just get to the rock set a little bit faster, and even with the Ice-type Pokemon, you're going to have better coverage against Charizard, so that's why I like the WarRain and Galarian Stunfisk play a little bit more. But yeah, this is a 21 games win streak that I also showcased on my channel, so definitely check out the video if you are interested in this team. Next team going to be the Croak. I think I also showcased this one, maybe I had a different team, but this is going to be a very standard team around the Toxicroak. Toxicroak is a very good core breaker, as it's going to be able to destroy both Cobalion as well as Virizion, and those 2 Pokemon are usually very commonly seen in the meta right now. Also going to be able to beat Registeel, also is buffed thanks to Mud Bomb being buffed. So this Pokemon itself is going to have so much play in the current meta, definitely recommend it to you. Very strong pick, and here we're going to have the lead of Pidgeot, which is a sim hero, like it's not as good as it shows here right now, but it's a very strong Pokemon. Say swap of the Surfetch can either run a Night Slash or the Brave Bird. I prefer Brave Bird actually, but Night Slash is as good basically, so definitely something that you can run. Let's take a look at the next one here. We're going to have the team number 9. Please nerf counter. We're going to have a team that's basically inspired by the triple counter team from the Open Great League. We're going to have the Deoxys defense in the lead, which is going to have counter. Of course, we're going to have the Say Swap here of the Dubwool instead of the Vigoroth, which you usually see in the Great League variant of it. And we're going to have the Obstagoon in the back. But you can also use the Guzzlord if you want to, because you're going to have already some, like, 2 answers basically for those, what's called for those Ice-type Pokemon that you don't want to face. So this should be definitely fine here. You want to have Rock Set on the Deoxys all the time because of the Charizard. They are way more common in this meta, and you're going to just be able to do more damage with this move. So definitely what you kind of want to run here. Very decent team, very, very strong. Definitely is very decent to play. And let's move on into the next one. We're going to have team number 10, which is going to be around the Tapu Fini. I kind of had to put a team with Tapu Fini in here. This is actually from Caleb Peng, so that's shoutouts to them there. We're going to have here the team of Tapu Fini in the lead. Drapier and Saysop. You can use Awkward here. I actually would think that maybe Such Bomb is a little bit better here, giving you better coverage against other Pokemon like Tapu Fini as well as the Virizion. So that's definitely something, but while Virizion seems to be a core breaker for this team, it is definitely tough to deal with this. But you're going to be able to basically have coverage on all your Pokemon here. You're going to have coverage on your lead with the Moonblast. You're going to have coverage on your Saysop, especially if you run Such Bomb. And you also have the Psychic Fang on the Pokemon in the back here, which is going to be the Registeel. So definitely something that you can do, and definitely something that you can still beat here as we can move on to the final team. And now we're going to take a look at the Zygarde. Zygarde 100% form. Basically impossible to have right now unless you are spoofing, I think. And maybe, like, I don't even know if you can do it with spoofing. I actually still haven't seen a single Zygarde 50%, neither legit or spoofed yet. So I doubt that this is even possible to get in the next, like, 2 weeks where this meta is available. But if you would ever have this Pokemon, yeah, I mean, we have two different other options that you can run in the lead as well. Like Swampert in the lead is totally fine. The Pidgeot in the lead is also totally fine. But if you have this Pokemon ever available, this Pokemon is going to be insane for the Open Ultra League, and it's just going to be shredding everything. This Pokemon is insanely bulky. It has an insane HP stat. It's basically like a Blissey on steroids. It is wild how strong this Pokemon is going to be. But yeah, this is going to be it for today's video. 11 teams. I hope you enjoyed it. If you did, please leave a like. And otherwise, I see you in the next one. Bye bye.